Hi, Nathan here over at Trumi. Why is it that only 1% of the population become entrepreneurs? Are they smarter than the other 99%? Statistically speaking, no. But they know something that you may not. They figured out how to enter and ride what I call the transition curve, or some people call it the T curve. Have you ever ventured into something new, whether it be a new career, a new position, a new relationship, or maybe a new hobby? You're gung-ho, you're excited at the beginning, and then within 2 months, weeks, or even days, it's over. You're ready to quit. So rationalizing that really it wasn't a good fit in the first place and it wasn't meant to be, right? Well, most of us have been there at one time or another, but did you know that it's completely normal to feel this way? In fact, most people stay with things that they're good at and they quit the things that they're not good at. Why is that? Here's why. All new tasks and skills are met with a transition curve. Let me show you what it looks like. This is the transition curve. The first part of the transition curve is when we're most excited, where the energy's high, the willingness is high, you're ready to jump in with both feet. This is called uninformed optimism. I'm going to note it here at the bottom of the curve, beginning of the curve, as UO. Congratulations, you've decided to pursue this new task or new venture. Now what? The second part of the curve is when you're about to dive in. It's the period when you can't turn back, right? But you're really nervous to move forward. This is called crisis of engagement. That is right here on the board. Okay, we're going to indicate that with a CE. But you didn't turn back, right? You dove in and you gave it a shot. So what happens next? The third part of the curve is when you've jumped in and now realize it's much harder than you expected. You're not as good at it as you thought. It's almost that way. It's almost always that way if you're starting something new, if you're doing something that's really challenging for you. Usually, externalization kicks in here. Okay, it's not your fault. It's difficult. It's the circumstances, the environment of the other person. Okay, this is called informed pessimism. Okay, I'm going to note that here as IP. Okay, now you're doing the new thing. Okay, it's a lot harder than you thought, and of course, it's not your fault. But what happens next? Okay, this is really important. The fourth part of the curve, arguably the most important part, is when you realize that it is your fault and you're personally responsible. And you're responsible and you're the one that needs to make the difference, right? This is called crisis of meaning. Okay, so this is the bottom of the curve. Okay, we're going to indicate that with a CM. Okay, when you're at the bottom of the curve, it's a hard place to be. It's the point of ultimate introspection. Are you going to quit, or are you going to keep pressing forward? That's the big question. Most people quit here. In fact, they just fall right off. Okay, that's the end of the curve. And then this, of course, because it's cognitively uncomfortable to be doing something that puts your self-esteem on the stand, right? So at this point, the curve ends, and for many, they persevere. Where do they go? That's number 5. Okay, the fifth part of the curve is when you finally get a taste of success, be it small or large success. You're not feeling confidence here, but you feel like you might be able to do this. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. This is called hopeful realism. And that's right here. I'm going to do that as HR. Okay, now you see the light. What happens next? The 6th and the final part of the curve is the best part. You've proven to yourself. You can do it. You're successful. You're confident. And you're ready to continue forward. This is called, at the end of the curve, informed optimism. IO. And the good news is that the more you cycle through the transition curves, the easier they get. So the next time you're in something that is challenging you, sit with it a little longer. You'll eventually come out on the other side. I want to end with this one of my favorite quotes. This is from Stockdale, Jim Stockdale, from the Stockdale Complex. Keep the faith that you will prevail in the end, regardless of the difficulties. But don't be afraid to confront the most brutal facts of your current reality, whatever they might be. Stay tuned for my next video, Coaching the Curve, to learn more about how to help yourself and also help others through this curve. And for more information on Trumi, go to trumi.com. Thank you.